Hello teacher, we are group 6 and our group members are Thanh Hường, Minh Hải, Diệp Anh and I am Thu Ba. Today we're going to talk about the happiness game, a board game for almost any classroom. Our presentation will have three main parts. The first one is teaching idea from the article. The second one is the application in real life teaching. And the last one is our research ideas. The first part about some details of the board game, Miss Diệp Anh is going to talk about this.
Hello everyone, I am Nguyễn Diệp Anh, and in my part, I would like to present a quick overview of the happiness game, and this is kind of a board game, and we can use for almost any classroom. And this is and in these games, the players level should be high beginner and above. Uh, the time required to play this game is appropriately 15 minutes to introduce and demonstrate the game. The game time is highly flexible. Uh, about goals of game is to having fun and and feel happy to talk and think about the happiness and other aspects, and also to review vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, or other targeted language elements. um, about material for each group of students. A happiness board, uh, a happiness game board, a die or a coin or something similar, a set prepare happiness question cards or blank cards for students to create their own game cards, a set of prepare free question, also called review question cards. Players should have their own game piece to move around the board, um, and move to the step. There are four steps in this game. The first step is introduce is introduce the topic. Uh, the teacher asks the teacher usually start the class by asking students about happiness. An initial question like, what are some ways we can be happy every day? And also the following question like, when you are sad, what makes you become happy? And the teacher also can make other question also involving in happiness. Step 2, move steps move to step 2. Step 2 is making material. So here, the teacher and the student need to make uh, the the two kind of cards. The first one is happiness question cards at different level, and each level are having color coded and graded by level of the question. And teacher read the cards with the student, then ask them to write 5 more cards of their own. The card teacher and student create during this step are the cards that will be drawn when player land on the choose a happiness question card on the board game, and also also the student can make the second kind of board the second kind of card, uh, named free question card. Um, These cards can be prepared by both teacher and student prior to the game, uh, and when the card and the board are prepared already, the teacher and the student will need to create game piece and fire die or a coin to play and move to step 3. Into this step, uh, into this step, the the rule is very simple. Just roll the die or flip a coin, then move the game piece to the designated number. And if student land on choose a happy question card on the board on the board game, the student must choose a happiness question card and answer the question or solve the challenge in on this question card. And if student land on the free question, student must choose the free question card and answer the question. All other spaces have fun happiness challenges, such as create a new high five or make a silly face. And you can see in this version of game is non-competitive, and the point is to learn about each other and have fun. However, the teacher who want to make the game competitive can have the student count the number of challenges they have solved by asking students to count their card at the end of the game and move to step 4. In this step, the teacher has option for following up after the game is finished. Here are some activities the teacher can have students to do. First is presentation and speeches. For large, for large or big classes, the teacher can have students form small groups to give a short presentation about what they have learned. For more classes, individual students can give a speech about what they have learned. Another activity is additional game card. The teacher can have students write more game cards for the next time game. Other activity is writing. Uh, the student can write a short answer and question, like what your happiest memory from childhood. And also the interesting activity is discussion in groups. Students can discuss questions such as what question was the hardest for you to answer, or what happiness what happiness challenge did you enjoy the most. And this is only one kind of board game of this board game. And in this board game, the teacher can make a many variation, and can modify the game. In the next part, my friend will introduce some modifies of the game. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the game modification. We will have two types of cards, happiness question cards and free questions. The first one, happiness question cards, the teacher will read example cards with the students so that they can write five more cards with the theme happiness. The cards that we create during this step is there are so many possibilities. So the teachers and the students should feel free to create their own cards. Just remember that the theme is happiness. In addition to this question, we have free questions. This one will be prepared by the teacher or prepared by the students before the lesson. So, if preparation time is short, the teachers can have students write review cards as they play or make up their own questions. So, it based on the level of the students also. So, when the cards and the board are prepared, the teacher and the students will roll the dice, and they can use some other things, but if they have the dice, then if the dice is not available, then the coin is a great substitute. So they will roll the dice. The students will take turns and move around the board until the challenge cards have been all used up with a non-competitive activity. So if the teacher want to turn this into the competitive game, then they can have students count the number of challenges they have solved simply by asking students to count their cards at the end of the game. And then we will have who is the winner. So, next one. Um, then the teacher can make cards that reflect the abilities of young learners. There are some examples here. Then they can prepare spelling quizzes like spell the word happy, like that, or some basic questions like which is a happy place, a park, or a zoo. Or for more advanced adult classes, the teacher can design cards with role plays or scenarios. A card could read, "Your friend is feeling down. Try to cheer him or her up." Okay, there are more fun ways to make the game even more fun. Is that the teacher can play some background music to create party atmosphere, or the happiness tokens or punch card. The teacher can create some kind of reward system for good responses, such as happiness tokens or some kind of stickers or some kinds of rewards like lollipop or something. The teacher can create and also create a challenge punch card and punch a hole every time the student gets a challenge correct. That is all about the game modification. And next one, we will talk about the application in real life teaching.
I will demo a board game activities which is called Snake and Ladders. Okay, the first step, you go to the Google and search for bamboozle. And then you click to the first link. Click on the first link. All right, so here I already have the accounts. So I will find the game. Okay. And I said before, this is online board game, Snake and Ladders. So the content is grade 10 and unique vocabulary, and the teacher will use this activity to check and review the vocabulary of the Unit 6 in grade 10. 10. All right. So I will click play button and then search for the Snake and Ladders game. Okay, you can choose the teams you like. So because this is a demo class, so I will divide my class into, I can change the pictures of the teams here. Okay, team 1 can replace names here. Okay, the small game. Now, the students in each groups will take turn to roll the dice here. Roll the dice, and team 1 roll the dice, and then they have to answer. What job is it? Veterinarians. Veterinarians. If they can answer correctly, they can. Okay. They can move on to the next box. 6. Next is team 2. All right. So if team 1 cannot give the correct answer, they answer the wrong answer. Oops, here they cannot move. They cannot move to the next box, and then the turn will give to team 2 here. They have 2 points. 1, 2, climb to 7. 7. Go back to number 5 here. Okay. This game, student will take turn. Each group will take turn to roll the dice, and then if one group will reach for the finish box here, athletes, they will be the winner. Okay, so this is a game. This is a demo game. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you the application in real life teachings. The first one is the online board game, which is called like Snake and Ladders. So as you can see on the screen, this is the template of the game. The Snake and Ladders game is one of the board game variations, and this game is so similar with the article, uh, with the teaching idea from the article. Okay, so the students will will be um, will be divided into groups, and each group have to roll the dice. Okay, each group have to roll the dice, and they can take turns to roll the dice and answer the follow-up questions. Okay, each group, they will start um, on the number 1 box, and then they will take turns to roll the dice, and if they can answer the questions correctly, they can move on to the next box, um, until they can get to the finish box here. Okay, the earliest team will get to the finish box. Um, will get to the finish box will win the game. And this game is this game is suitable for you in the lesson to check the student understanding of language structures and check their use of vocabulary in the right context in the sentence. Okay, and the teacher can use this game in the warm-up activity or in the lead-in part to review the vocabulary. Okay, so now I will show you how to play this game. Okay, I'm gonna share with you another application in real life teaching. This is called the irregular verbs board game. Okay, so for the preparation, the teacher will divide student into small groups, um, 4 or 5 students in each group. Okay, um, teacher can set time for the game, or if they don't want it, they don't need to set time, and this is the optional. Okay, so each group member of the students will be given 5 blank cards, and they have to think and write down 5 different irregular verbs on each card. Remember that they have to write down the infinitive form of 5 different irregular verbs. Okay, so as you can see, uh, this game is irregular verbs board game. We are we have adapted and modified it, change it a little bit with the board game from the art from the previous article. Okay, so the as I said before, the student will be given 4 different blank cards. They have to think and write down the infinitive form of 5 irregular verbs. For example, they can write the word buy, okay, or run, and so on. And okay, here you can see the template of the board game, irregular verbs board game, which is need to check the understanding of the form of the verb in the lesson. Okay, so each member have to take turn to roll the dice and do as required. Takes turn to roll the dice. Okay, if they uh, if they roll the dice and stand on the choose a card box, they will withdraw a card, and they will pick the card, and they have to say aloud the past and the past participle forms of the irregular verb on the card. For example, if they uh, pick up a card by here, they have to say aloud the past and the past participle forms of the word by, which is bought and bought, right? Buy, bought. Okay, and they can answer the questions correctly. They can stand on the choose a card box here. All right. So the next student or next turn, they will, if they can roll the dice, and they will stand on the free questions box. In this box, students have to make a sentence using irregular verb. For example, they pick up the buy card and they have to make sentence with the word buy. Like, mm, ah, they have to make sentence with irregular verb, not the past or the past participle form. Okay. For example, I buy a glass of milk for myself. Okay. If they can give the correct sentence, they can stand on the three questions and then they can wait to other friends um, to go to the next turn and then they can if they can move to the next turn. All right. So um, each student in the group will take turn to roll the dice. Here you can see, and if the student uh, with the most card with the most card will be the winners. It means that the student can answer as many cards as they can. The most card in your hand, they can be the winner. Uh, all the students all the student needs to finish the game. If student A finish the game first, they have to wait they with his or her friends to finish the game, and after that all the students finish the game, the teacher will 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 count the cards to find the winners. Okay, this game is useful for you in your teaching lessons. You can apply this game to check the student understanding and remembering the past and participle forms of the verb, irregular verb, and then you also can check the student uh, speaking. They can make sentence, right? They can make sentence using the irregular verbs.
In the last part of the presentation, I will share some research idea that is related to board games. And this is a research that is called Implementing Speaking Board Games to Develop Student Speaking Skill. And the objects of the research is 13 students in grade 8, and they're at different English levels. And the students are in Indonesia. The objective of this research is to find out how speaking board games can help develop the development of student speaking skills in grade 8. In terms of the methodology, this is an action research that is conducted in the online form, and the procedure contains four main stages, including planning, acting, observing, and reflexing. The author used four main instruments to gather the data, including observation, interview, test, and questionnaire. And the data were analyzed to find out the qualitative and quantitative data. After conducting the research, the author has come to some conclusion, and the first one is that students felt more comfortable when playing the board games because the targets of the research is to apply using a board game that focus on fluency more than the accuracy. And the board game is quite like a new method that is very personal and that imitates the real life events that is related to the students. And this is a quite competitive format of games, so the students may feel more interested in the lessons. And the students are in Generation Z, so they find the technology natural and not hampering. So here are some of the examples of the board games that the author used in her research. The first one, as you can see on the screen, is a board game that helps the student to introduce about themselves, and it is called About Me board game. And the second board game on the right is um, called What Do I Know About? And this will help the students to speak and share their ideas about particular things that they know. And at the end of the research, the author has come to some suggestions for both the teachers and the students. In terms of the teachers, they should upgrade and update their new lessons regularly, and they should make a fun and safe learning environment for the students. And the teachers should only act as the facilitator because the students are the main parts of the classroom, and they should plan the materials and the lesson plans carefully and give the students the chance to explore and express themselves. In terms of the students, so they should be more open about themselves and not be shy to ask some questions to the teacher. So there will be more interactions between the teachers and the students. So that is all about our presentation of the group 6. Thank you for listening.